Hello again. Yes, I'm recording this is the same night that I just recorded the intro video. Now it's closer to 8 o'clock. No. I just figured, I should probably make a video with actual content. And then hopefully people actually like it. Okay, so, I don't know. I just had something on my mind. Have you ever had that moment where you watch a show and you see two characters, and in the beginning you're like, oh, they would make an adorable couple. I mean, adorable couple, and then you watch it more, and you're like, oh, they're best friends but also they're best friends to the end, and I don't know if I want to change that dynamic by actually making them more than best friends, because like if you take two people who are like amazing as best friends and make them a couple, then that could screw everything up. But then again, you still want them to be a couple. And then there's also that whole dynamic where maybe you think that, oh, but they've got that more of a father son dynamic, because one character never actually had tonight, or father son, father daughter, whatever, mother daughter, mother son, whatever dynamic. Even though they're really close in age, only a few years apart. Even though sometimes they don't specify the age, but you're just looking at them going, oh, they're not very far apart. But it's still that father-son dynamic, and you're just like, especially if if one of the characters, like, they never had a father, so it's another character stepping in and more like a fatherly figure, and you're just there like, I don't know, because, like, I don't know what I want to become Endgame. Okay, so, for me, one of the big, two characters that gave me these kind of feels big time were Peter Burke and Neil Caffrey from the show White Collar. And I was just sitting there going, oh, no, I don't know. Like, I know how things end, and I'm gonna try not to spoil it too much. Because, some of you might want to watch it, so I'm not gonna try to spoil it too much. But, I will say, okay, so, the basics of the show that you learn in the first episode, and if you read the back of the case or the description on it on Netflix or Hulu or wherever you're watching it, I don't actually know where you could find it to watch it. We own the DVDs, that's how I watched it. But it's amazing. There's another character that's a fabulous character. His name is Mozzie, but I'm not going to say anything about him because, you gotta experience it for yourself. But anyway, Neil and Peter. It's like, I don't. Because Peter Burke is an agent with the FBI. Neil Caffrey is a criminal, a con artist. He's not violent crimes. He just forges paintings and bombs. Like, he's a forger, con artist, a con man. He's not violent. He's never killed anybody or harmed anyone physically. Well, I'm sure he's harmed somebody physically if he absolutely had to. He would, but he doesn't. He doesn't. Well, like, it's just gonna pick up a gun and start shooting people kind of criminal. He's a good guy, even though he's a criminal, if that makes any sense. Like, his morals are questionable in some aspects, but he's still a good guy. He's redeemable. He's definitely the kind of character who can redeem himself. And, go from, a life of crime to a more kind of a life that's more law-abiding, which is always good. So, Neil Caffrey is an infamous criminal. Nobody can catch him, and then Peter dies, and then stuff goes on, stuff happens, and then Peter and Neil end up working together. Neil ends up being Peter's criminal informant, so, he'll go and do undercover stuff and, help Peter solve the cases and put the really bad guys behind bars. So, I don't know. I was watching it, and in the beginning, you get that feeling like, oh, I feel like they would make a cute couple, but, spoiler alert, Peter is married to a woman. Another note about white collar that is not relevant to this particular topic, this particular rant, but is kind of because it's white collar. There is a confirmed lesbian, so that's good. That's wonderful because I mean, yeah, it's good to see that representation, and it's good that the fact that she's a lesbian doesn't affect anything with anybody. I mean, well, Neil did kind of have a little bit of an attraction to her at first until he found out, and then he's like, oh shit, and then nothing happened. Neil backed off. He didn't try to pursue her. But anyway, it was just great. I don't know what to say else to say. It's just the dynamic between Peter and Neil is just so intoxicating, and I love it so much. And the storyline is brilliant, and it's unique. I mean, there's a lot of crime shows out of there, but it's unique. Given that it's an original idea, and I love that because I mean, there's so many crime shows out there. There's so many hospital shows out there. To see a unique idea within that genre is amazing because you're just sitting there going, not another hospital show or not another crime show. Just like, I mean, I've seen it all before. It's all been done before, and then to get that new thing is just refreshing. Especially since lately all anybody's doing is remaking older things that, this was popular back when it was made, so let's remake it. You're sitting there going, okay, it's a classic for a reason. I mean, we love the original. And, I'd watch it all day long. But if you're going to come in here, you're going to remake it with all new actresses and actors and all new... And you're going to, change up the storyline and you're just like, this is not the story I know and love. And it's especially bad if they cast it wrong and you're just there like, no, that person does not belong in that role at all. What is wrong with you? You nut job. Because I've seen plenty of things where you're there and where I don't even want to watch the thing because I'm thinking that was a bad choice in casting, and I'm looking at them and I'm not sure. I'm still not sure about the new Batman that's supposed to star Robert Pattinson because I'm just like Robert Pattinson, Cedric Diggory in the Harry Potter movies, and then Edward Cullen in Twilight. And I'm sure he's done other things, but those are just the top two that pop into my mind. And I'm just like, he's not Batman. He will never be Batman in my eyes. The only person who will be Batman in my eyes, but is not Batman, is Dean Winchester. Dean Winchester can be Batman if he wants. But other than that, no. Imagine if Jensen Ackles played Batman and we're all sitting there going, look, Dean's finally Batman! I mean, Dean wished so hard, and Dean kept saying that he was Batman, and now he's finally Batman. That would be funny. I would watch Jensen Ackles as Batman just because, yeah. Bye.